Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we head to the Community Arts Center, where the East Brunswick Human Relations Council held coffee and conversations where community leaders and residents were able to come out and talk about bias and stereotypes that may occur in our town and how to promote tolerance and respect for all. Then we're off to the races with VFW Post number 133's annual 5K that helps raise funds for veterans. We welcome the Central Jersey Wind Ensemble back to the East Brunswick Public Library, where they play for a full house. All this, plus we take a closer look at some of the numerous parks and trails around East Brunswick, and we have information about Playhouse 22. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now. The East Brunswick Human Relations Council held a program at the Community Arts Center called Conversations and Coffee, where a panel of community leaders and local residents were able to discuss bias and stereotypes in our town and how tolerance and respect can be promoted in East Brunswick and beyond.
Last year, the library opened up with a program called the World Cafe, and they had an opportunity for us to sit at tables and talk to one another about things that we thought were important in the community. And one of the things that came out of that series of discussions was the idea that bias really hasn't gone away. We may have fooled ourselves into thinking that we live in this bubble called New Jersey where everybody is diverse and we all accept people's differences. And while I think we do a much better job than many other parts of the country, it does still exist. And many of you would know that because you're kidding yourself if you think we live in nirvana here. We don't. Last year there was a rise in anti-Semitic bias crimes as reported by the Board of Education, and they had to deal with that, a rise beyond what we had seen. There's always been some low level of this type of bias crime, but it had risen. We've seen after the election, I don't know if any of you remember the big idea about cities declaring themselves as sanctuary cities, and I got a bunch of letters from some people saying, oh, Mayor, why aren't you going to do the same thing here? I can assure you that I got equal or more letters saying that I would never be elected again if I ever thought about doing that in this town. That immigrants don't belong here, and that why do we always have to give to them? And when I'm still struggling, it was an eye-opener that I don't think many of you know, and that's really the impetus behind having these type of discussions. There was a rise in Islamophobia that I can guarantee you still exists here, not just in this country, not just in New Jersey, but right here in East Brunswick. So to think that we are better than everybody else or to be in judgment of other places really is foolish. And that's why I felt this was a really good time for us to take stock of where we are, speak honestly to one another, speak, not write, and that's why we called it Conversations and Coffee, because the only way you're going to turn back the momentum that's moved away from the type of society I thought we were living in is to start conversation by conversation, person by person, and start to move back to a place that I think we really, really need to be.
When we're talking about bias, you can think of bias as, and this is a basic definition, cause to feel or show indication or prejudice for or against someone or something. All right? When we talk about stereotype, we're really talking about a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type or person or thing. Now, again, like I said, I wanted just to put that out there because these words are going to be thrown around quite a bit this evening, so it'd be really nice to have a general sense of what we're talking about. In 2016, the FBI said that they had recorded over 6,000 bias incidents here in the United States. And of all the categories in which they measure bias in, the one category that had the most incidents, of frequency, was of course racial bias. In 2016, over 57% of the cases that the FBI had taken notice of were in the category of racial or ethnic or ancestry bias. Right? When we talk about religion, which is very relevant today, it's not surprising to see that over half the cases of anti-religious bias was anti-Jewish bias, and the second category was anti-Muslim bias. The FBI also measures location when these incidents take place, and it was very surprising to me that the frequency in which bias incidents takes place happens to be in residential areas, in homes, right? So it's really important to talk about what we can do as a community to strengthen the bonds of our neighborhoods, given that this seems to be an area in which intolerance tends to rear its ugly head. Finally, I also want to just bring it back home and talk a little bit about the bias here in East Brunswick, right? According to the statistics that have been collected, in 2012, there was only 2 bias incidents reported. By the time we reached 2017, that number had jumped up to 31.
I think bias for the special needs population is the same as bias for any population. It's preconceived notions without information. You hear a diagnosis, or you hear that somebody's child has a diagnosis, and your first reaction is, oh, I'm sorry. The parents aren't sorry. The parents are thrilled to have this beautiful child. So that is, can you imagine if you have a child and that's a reaction that many of my parents get for their children? The other bias that I find is definitely stereotypes, is that if you have a diagnosis, that defines who you are, and it does not define them at all. All it is a small part of who they are. So if you meet anybody, or if you hear of anybody with any diagnoses, it means nothing. It just means it's a small indication of who they are, but it does not define them, like race does not define you, and religion does not define you. It is just a simple thing. So I feel like education, and maybe getting some of our young people in the township to come out and speak more, maybe even on EBTV, to be able to articulate what it is to be labeled, and how people then take that label and define you that way. I think that might be something that we could even think about maybe in the future. Just information and knowledge is what's going to help with all biases and stereotypes, I think.
What we're looking at doing is continuing to add programs. One of our big programs is Sources of Strength that you'll see in our secondary schools. And that's where we have adults and students of all backgrounds that can get together and talk about issues, get training, and have kids be able to go out and be what we call upstanders. We've heard the term bystanders, but we're looking for upstanders. So that's kids who will go out of their way to say, hey, that's not right. Or, hey, I like what you did over here. This is great. Let's do more of this. And so that's one of the goals that we have in our district, is to make more upstanders and to educate our community in terms of our differences, and to really enjoy those differences and really come together as a group. And you know, we do have numbers that have grown in terms of some of the issues that have happened in town. But we have to remember, we have a diverse community, and we have people coming in from all over this country and all over the world coming into this community, because it's a great community. So it takes time to educate everyone and to try to bring people aboard.
1.6 billion Muslims in the world, worldwide. So question, are all Muslims Arabs? No. So in fact, the majority of Arabs in the United States are actually Christian. So bear that in mind. Where are the majority of Muslims from around the world? What country? Indonesia. So the majority of Muslims are from Indonesia. And that's followed by Pakistan and India as the number 2 and number 3 slots. Are there more Muslims in Syria or in China? In China, you're getting the, yeah. Getting the theme. There are more Muslims in Russia than there are in Libya and Jordan combined. Again, I want to give you an understanding. There are different studies, as you know, indicating how many Muslims are in the United States. They range from 2 to 7 million Muslims, according to the U.S. State Department report. So that number is fuzzy. Out of that number, what do you think the ethnic or racial group is the highest of Muslims in America? African American. You're an educated audience here. So black. Black Muslim, Black Americans, 35% African American, 28% white, 18% Asian, and about 18% other. Again, breaking down of bias includes understanding what our stereotypes are and what we think who Muslims are.
For more information on the East Brunswick Human Relations Council, visit eastbrunswick.org or check them out on Facebook.
Today is the VFW Post 133 5K.
I think it's just for a great cause. Charity is always great, and participating and running for an event like this always adds up. It gets something else, it's fun for us, and at the same time we do charity together.
Well, this is like for the vets, so it's always good to support the local vets, and it's always good to get the community involved. So
it's great to support the community. The VFW Post does great work with our veterans and in the community as a whole, and so that we could come out and support them and then have a little bit of fun at the same time makes it a great day for everybody.
I think it's a great way to bring people together. I think people get a sense of accomplishment, and obviously the cause is good. It raises funds, so I think it's a win-win all around.
Yeah, I think it brings people together, and East Brunswick, I don't know, we're good at that.
Yeah. This year, the money goes to our homeless veterans and to Unbroken Warriors, an organization that one of my members started. It's support veterans with PTSD, and the other one is Middlesex Veterans Alliance, and they work with homeless veterans and getting veterans jobs and stuff.
And weather is perfect, so I think it's going to be great. We are just having a good time here.
Our governor showed up this morning, and he's out there running with his family, and we're glad to have him here.
Well, it's my fourth year in a row that I'm doing the benefit for the VFW, and each year, it's just fantastic. They do such a great job setting it up, and the participants, it's just great. A very nice, wonderful event.
How fast did you finish?
23, I think 40. Good job. Not too bad. I'm proud. I'm just glad to have participated.
Oh, very good. Very good. Better than what I thought. 20 and a half minutes. It's not bad for me. I didn't try for more than that, so I'm good. Thank you.
Tried to do the best I could. I just kept at a steady pace, and then just basically took a big fast, oh my God, what do you call it? The last sprint, the last 10 seconds. So I hope I did good. I did under 30, which was I was hoping for, so that's it.
On our website, we try to do the same time every year around this time, and we're thankful for some of our sponsors. And you can come down to our post at 485 Cranberry Road. You're always welcome to stop in and see us. And we have numerous things. We have a golf outing coming up next month, so if anybody out there is interested in golfing, stop down and see me at the Veterans of Foreign War Post, 485 Cranberry Road, right behind the radiology building.
New Jersey isn't called the Garden State without a reason, and East Brunswick perfectly exemplifies why the state has earned that nickname. East Brunswick is home to a lot of greenery, and this is perfectly showcased in the mixture of trails and parks around town. One of the most scenic trails is located at Butterfly Park at 262 Ruse Lane, aptly named the Butterfly Trail. The trail is home to beautiful butterflies of all kinds, which are most abundant in the spring and summer. Aside from butterflies themselves, the trail is well maintained and perfect for families to take a walk with all its tall trees and clear paths. Another great spot for the summer is Jamesburg Park, right off of Old Stage Road. The park has historic pine barrens and is a wetland habitat, home for a lot of woodland creatures and perfect for animal lovers. If you're looking for a hike, look no further than Frost Woods. Beginning at 72 Frost Avenue, the woods are over 140 acres of greenery to march through, and it's great for a summer romp through the forest. Located at Hillcrest Avenue, the Tamarack Hollow Preserve spans 232 acres and is a blend of heavily wooded forest and farmland, the latter which continues to support local agriculture. With over 2 miles of trails and a wide variety of plants and animals, the preserve is a prime location for activities such as hiking, walking, bird watching, and taking photos of nature. The preserve looks different during the summer and the winter, making it a great spot for families all year long. Aside from major trails, the rest of the town is packed with small parks in every neighborhood, so you're never too far from a family picnic area or a lush green area to take a walk. Nature trails and parks are a terrific asset to any community, and while East Brunswick boasts vast acres of green trails to hike and walk, the town also has an abundance of smaller, more play-focused parks as well. Right near the Butterfly Trail at 260 Ruse Lane is Great Oak Park. Outfitted with playground equipment, the park also contains green fields, perfect for hosting large picnics, and a paved path perfect for walking or biking, and direct access to the Butterfly Trail. Country Lane Park is a fairly secluded spot that's tucked perfectly into a local neighborhood. Located off of Milltown Road near Harts Lane, Country Lane consists of lots of greenery and a playground, well-maintained tennis courts, basketball court, and a nearby baseball field, making it perfect for youth sports practices and activities. For another activity-oriented park, Heavenly Farms is the answer. Right off of 440 Dunham's Corner Road, the farms sport a dog park, bike trail, turf baseball, soccer, and football fields, and is the venue for a multitude of community events. Bicentennial Park is one of the most popular spots in East Brunswick and plays host to many summer events and activities. Spanning 34 acres, the park packs in lots of amenities including sports fields, playgrounds, an area for dogs, not to mention a lake that can be used for fishing and kayaking. Whether you need a great picnic area or just a nearby playground, East Brunswick is sure to have a spot nearby.
Are you a fan of theater? A patron of the arts? Do you find it too difficult to get to a Broadway show? If so, Playhouse 22 is perfect for you. Held in East Brunswick's Community Arts Center at 721 Cranberry Road, Playhouse 22 is the go-to spot for a night at the theater. With new productions almost every month, you'll never have to wait too long to see a show. The award-winning team at Playhouse 22 puts on a wide array of plays, ranging from classics like Death of a Salesman to musicals like Grease and family favorites like A Christmas Carol. The Playhouse also offers affordable season ticket packages for theater-goers of all ages. Conveniently located right here in East Brunswick, Playhouse 22 is perfect for the casual viewer, the lifelong theater fan, and everyone in between. Visit the theater website at www.playhouse22.org for information on upcoming performances.
Hi, this is Nick Santoro, and I'm the director of the Central Jersey Wind Ensemble. performing a concert today at the East Brunswick Library. This is an old-time concert in the park, and we were featuring music that you would have heard back in the 40s, 50s, 60s in the gazebo on a sunny Sunday afternoon. So we went to highlight some music from the past, some newer things, some movie music, a Russian march that no one's ever heard of that was in a Russian movie, selections from the Jersey Boys as an audience sing-along, salute to the armed forces. It's a medley of all the service marches. And our last piece was a really fun piece called Gale Force, G-A-E-L, and it was sort of like river dance on steroids. A very fast, fun piece for the band to play and an audience favorite. So the Central Jersey Wind Ensemble has been around since 1993, and it was started by myself and my wife and a few other friends. And we just went around and asked our musician friends, who were all nice people, if they'd like to get together and put a band together to do concert in the park music. We've done a lot of concerts in schools with high school bands, sort of like a side-by-side. We've performed many times in East Brunswick at the Community Arts Center and here at the library. And we're always looking for venues, so none of the players get paid. We do this pretty much gratis. Any money that we get goes to buy music and basically operate the band. We love to play, and we love to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are the Central Jersey Wind Ensemble. It's good to be back. every concert we play, we do this near the end of the concert. This is our tribute to anyone who has served in any of the armed services. So our tradition and the tradition of many bands, if you or a family member or a relative served in any of the 5 armed services, when you hear the service song, please stand and pay tribute to your family member or friend. This is the Armed Forces Salute. If you'd like to contact me about the band, you can feel free to email me at n31b13@gmail.com. I'll be glad to answer any questions. And if you have the need for the band, you have a concert that you'd like to promote, we do a lot of concerts for organizations that use this as a fundraiser. Since we don't charge, we just cover our expenses, and then you can sell tickets and make the money. So feel free to email me. I live in Milltown. You can find me in the phone book. I still have a landline. So we'd love to hear from you.